Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now we're going to get our popcorn and then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car and I'll be in there in a minute. I see you soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips, the balance in favor of fair use.
Like, share, subscribe.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you. And I think I have to listen. Because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day.
We won't stop.
Will be as bright as the sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so right. It's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart. Doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now
see this? How you cannot go?
Baby, baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me it's right.
Neighbors and the
When you
community
came to me,
compelled
who
to
are
scour
you?
the area.
It's you, yeah, boy.
Where does the fault lie on you?
Hey, family. Let me go out and come back in because something ain't right here. Let me see if I can do it like this. No, can't do it like that. Oh, crap. Let me. Okay, you guys. I done got in the building. It was not letting me get in the building. Hey, everybody. We're going to talk a little bit. We're not going to stay on here long, you guys, because today is Friday. It's payday for somebody, not me. Of course, it's not me. But today is payday for some of you guys. So, yes, that's what's up. You know, I'm still happy, though. You know, Lisa Taylor, what's going on? Hey, Lisa Taylor done came in here first. She said good afternoon. Nancy, how you doing, Nancy? Danielle, well, yo. We got Nancy LaRose, okay? And then we got Passion B. She done came up in here. Bonita Bird, what's going on? She said, hey, everybody. Phyllis, how you doing, sister? I love me some Phyllis. She be showing up every now and then, but I love me some Phyllis. That's my sister in spirit in Christ. Yes, it is. Yes, 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 yes. You guys, we're gonna stay talking about the Naziah Harris case. I want to share some with you guys. I don't know if you guys know it, but yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I know you do, Phyllis. She said thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe, you guys. Come on in. We're an hour early. Ain't nothing wrong with being early. The early bird gets the worm. There's a couple of things on this Naziah Harris case that bothers me. And so we named this actually episode or this broadcast today, Naziah Harris Surroundings is very important. Don't you think? Listen to this. You guys, I want to share something with you. And first of all, even when there's people in your life that are supposed to be good, like for Naziah. Hey, Monique, how you doing? Lisa Taylor, Lisa. I see you in the building. They don't always make the right decisions. Doesn't mean that they're bad people. It, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just, either they're money hungry or they need money or they see where they can, get a little something, get them coins or whatever. And I don't really see them people as horrible people. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're lying on a deceased person or something and you're sticking to it to clout, to build, yeah. Is it all bad? Yeah, it is bad. But so Naziah has a cousin named Roxy, you guys. And there's some people that is talking bad about Roxy. I don't know. She is not that devastating that I see. Now, did she, charge for the balloons or cakes or whatever? Yeah, she did. Take a look at this, though. I mean, it does take money to do stuff. I don't know what when you do stuff, nobody's really doing anything for free. Did you drive down there? Is your time? You're not telling people, I didn't go to work. My gas, I had to get all this together. This cost me money. So when people get off into doing things, putting out flyers and stuff, they're not getting their money back. People be like, well, they should have asked for it. Well, or you're going to sit there and say, oh, let me give you $5 on those flyers. Oh, let me give you $10 on your gas. Or let me give you like $20 on your time. That now that you didn't go to work and you stayed up all night and you've been working on this for 5, 10, 20 days and you're doing it with your rent money or your light bill money or something. Let me help you out. People don't understand it. And then you're thinking, well, you shouldn't be doing it if you don't have the money. Of course. But people get caught up, and it's normally people that's never been through stuff like this before. And you guys seen this. Like I said, I don't like mentioning names because, let bygones be bygones, but we've seen this in several cases. The last case we seen this in was Cody Bigsby case. And then some people be like, yeah, now we say why you was rocking hard. Now we see, what did you, and that person, oh, and this, that, and that. I could have really showed you guys something on that Cody Bigsby case before it was put out there. So when people come and say, well, SP such and such is doing this, don't think I'm sitting there going, I don't want to hear it. I'll be like, okay, tell me more. What do you mean this person got that money? What do you mean this person did this? What do you mean? Because you know what? I don't want to, I'm not supporting your light bill or your water bill or your gas bill or whatever. I get it. I understand it. but you should just come on out and be like, hey, yeah, you know, woo, woo, woo. And that person did. That person did. Okay? That's why I say sometimes, and then people be like, oh, I knew it, you know, and they was always showing up and all this other stuff. Like I said, you know, did they have really good intentions or whatever? What was the surroundings? What was the surroundings like? Is the surroundings very important? Of course. The surroundings of Naziah is very important. But I got something to share with you guys. Hit that like button. Put a share in there, you guys. Share to somebody. Share. Please tell me you share, and then put a 1 in the chat after you share. Let me know that you share. Let me know that I'm not asking you for a nickel. I'm not asking you for a quarter. I'm not asking you for, just a share. If you share, put a 1 in the chat. Thank you, Miss Phyllis. See, some of you guys didn't hear what I asked you to do. And you just come on now. You know what I'm saying? But if something happened to your loved one and you say, because you're thinking, oh, I'll never call you SP. Oh, you be surprised. You be surprised because you guys know one thing, okay? And Miss Phyllis and I go way back. We go way back at the beginning of starting this channel. I remember her very, very well. And like I said, thank you, Lisa Taylor. Like I said, until people get to know you, they know what you're capable of doing. They know how much, like, they seen you grow from just being a channel to being, coward and bullied and everything to being, guess what? This person is respectable. Guess what? This person is not begging for our money. Guess what? This person is not stealing from the, from the church. You know what I'm saying? This person is really a good person. This person loved the Lord. This person, now anybody can change and anybody can, turn around. But like I said, me and Miss Phyllis, that's my sister. And she's been around as long as I've been around. Trust me. When I tell you guys, when we started this channel, I got to know everybody's name and everybody's position. And the thing about it is you don't cross people out. Because they may not know. They may have your back. Or they may be betrayed by other people. But once people get to know you and be surrounded by you, they know, like I know, they good people. Sometimes people just don't understand. Let's get into the Naziah case. 18 of Powers, I see you in the building. How are you? So, you guys, there's something that's troubling me. So, this Roxy lady is her cousin. She wasn't there when Naziah went missing. She wasn't even in that state. She said, and I look at the people that surrounded Naziah, and I'm like, okay, everybody have a problem with Roxy. Hey, Shalana, how you doing? I see you, family. I see you up in there. And so I said, let me see why everybody's coming after Roxy. So, because, it don't have to be a reason why people come after you. It's just and sometimes you're going to, believe what they say, or you don't know what to believe, because you don't know me from a can of paint. You're not going to know. But once you be around, you're starting to see that what they're saying is not true. And then, like, it can be fun. They can make it all fun. And then you be like, yeah, because you want to be right. But at the end of the day, if that person show you who they are, and you starting to see, like, man, you know what? She goofy. She may not know what she's saying, but she's sincere. Now, I'm going to tell you guys something, and it don't happen to everybody all the time. But for some unknown reason, Roxy is the target. A lot of people don't like Roxy. Now, you know, at the end of the day, Roxy didn't put her hands on Naziah. She didn't put her hands on Naziah. She didn't know that was happening. When she pulled up back into Detroit and heard what had happened to Naziah, she wanted to help. Now, like I said, at the beginning of everything, and she's still standing 10 toes, advocating for Roxy. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. Do things kind of look awkward when it comes down to the money? Yes, just like it did in the Cody Beasley case. Do we go throwing people to the wolves because are you still getting her name out there? Yes. Are you still showing up with searches? Yes. Are you still making sure the only person that made sure she had a balloon release? I know it sounds awkward, but something is better than nothing. Who was we going to wait on? Was going to wait on Shannon? Oh, no. Y'all was waiting on Annette to do something, right? Oh, or Marquita, right? Never happened, right? So, I don't know what just happened, but people be trying to shut me down. She said, no, I wasn't muted. Somebody shut me down, girl. But you know what? God is good. All the time. God is good. But anyway, yeah. So sometimes you would not know as much information that we know if it had not been for Roxy. Now, I'm giving her a shout out because wasn't nobody on that end really standing up saying anything. Now, maybe I just ain't got all the information out there. But I want to share something with you guys. Because like I said, we're not going to be on here long, but I want to, I got a picture of the DPD investigation about the birthday party. Okay, so there was this birthday party back in like 2022. It was April. I think it was somewhere around about April the 16th. 2022. 2022. That would give you, it's 2025 now. So, well, check it out. She came up missing in 2024. So we can't talk about 2025. We can only talk about 2022 to 2024. So the birthday party was April the 16th. I may have the date off a little bit, but nevertheless, that's not important. What's more important, it was 2022, and she came up missing in 2024. Girl, she said she fell asleep. Girl, you good. You good. Okay. So check this out. So at this birthday party that we needed to go into a little bit, they have the alleged perpetrator. Let me read it to you. I'm going to read it to you guys, okay? Jarvis's birthday is 11/21/82. 11/21 is the same day as my youngest daughter's birthday. Hey, woke the God. So Dang. No, I said 82 is 1962. 82. Yeah, he was born in 1982. And the victim was born 6/8/93. Okay, no. Not the victim. That's not the victim. That is the victim's parent. Hold on. Hold on. Oh my God. See, it takes a good person to say, what the heck? It says parent. Jarvis Butts. Parent. It says the parent. You guys are not understanding what I'm just saying. I just stumbled on something else. It says the parent. Jarvis Butt, 11/21. 82. Then it's got somebody else's name. 6/8/93. That's gotta be Shannon. Do anybody know Shannon's birthday? Because it says 6/8/93. I think Shannon. That's Shannon. That's Shannon's birthday because it says parent. Alleged perpetrator. Include address and phone number if not listed above. Jarvis Butt. But it says on the top, parent. So that's got to be Shannon. So that's Shannon's birthday. And then that's Jarvis' birthday. So they're talking about the parent. So this is what I'm saying, you guys. Oh my God. God is so good. People do not understand what I just see. Man, I'm just now getting into this and I didn't see this before. So Jarvis being the parent and Shannon being the parent. Here's a brief, this is what it says. Jarvis Butts, that his child, no. They're saying the parents. So this is somebody made a report to the police of April of 2022 saying, hey, my kid was touched. My kid was touched at this party. So the write-up to this, or the report of this person said Jarvis Butt is the parent. His, they got his date of birth, 11/21/82. And then the other parent is Shannon, 6/8/93. Alleged perpetrator is Jarvis Butts. Because it says parent. Hold on. Why would they have a report saying parent? A little girl was touched. Tina. You're not a, yeah. Yeah, baby. Okay, so let me I'm going to have to think about that a little bit, because them saying parent in this report got me a little confused. If this is a citizen report, why would they be saying parent? Unless she said because he touched his own daughter. Miss Sandra. So anyway, are you assuming that, Miss Sandra? Well, yeah, was more than, magazine said was more than one kid touch. Yes. Y'all think I'm stupid. But come on. I love the conversation. And because you guys don't know how much I know. And it, share. Because I'm not understanding why this report would say parent. If it wasn't the parent that made the report, somebody else made the report. And are they talking about Jarvis? And Shannon knew. There's a lot of open doors right there. And you got, please understand what I'm saying. There's a lot of open doors. Like, oh my gosh, she's not getting this. You know what? It was the parent to the child that was touched. It was the parent to the child that was touched at the birthday party. Tina said it was the parent to the child that was touched at the birthday party. Jarvis is the parent, and Shannon is the parent. Allegedly, it's Shannon. So check this out. Okay, we'll get back to that. You guys okay? She said read the whole article. Okay, so it says alleged perpetrator. Then it says include his address and the phone number if not listed above. Then it says alleged perpetrator, and then it says Jarvis Butts, and then it's his address. Okay, so then yes, Miss Sandra. Then it says brief description of the alleged abuse and possible witnesses. So then it says blank is the mother of blank. Blank is the mother of blank. Let's call this person well, they got it in black, so we'll just call her Miss Black. Miss Black is the mother of Little Black. Okay? We're not going to put kids' names out there. So this Miss Black is the mother of Little Black. Then it says and black and six and little black 6 months. Jarvis is the father of Black and lives outside of the home. Naziah is the niece of Black and lives outside of the home. I got it. Hold on. They are talking about Shannon. They're talking about Shannon. They're talking about the kids. They're talking about Shannon kids. It makes... Come on, Miss Sandra. Did Miss... Who the one that said that? Okay. Was more than one kid he touched. Miss Sandra said because he touched his own daughter. Oh my God. Unfreaking believable. Shit. Okay, I'm gonna fill in the blanks. Allegedly. Okay, Miss Sandra. You're making sense to me now. Miss Sandra. Shout out to Miss Sandra. You're making sense to me. You're making sense to me, girl. So let me fill in the black, Miss Black, with Shannon's name, because that's 3 kids, that's 4 kids, and then says, okay, yeah. So that's why they say the parents. See, that's why I'm telling y'all, when they said parents, I said, hold up. Shut the front door. They talking about the parents. And I didn't want to assume that it was Shannon. I felt it was Shannon because they said the parents. And I first put it in the equation because, like it could have been anything else, but when they say parents, that means they were talking about Shannon. So that's who they're talking about there. They're talking about Shannon. Okay, so let me read it. Shannon Harris is the mother of this child, and this child, and this child, and this child, which is 6 months. And they made sure they put in there the child was 6 months. Jarvis is the father of this child and lives outside of the home. Naziah is the niece of Shannon and lives outside of the home. Naziah is the niece of Shannon and lives outside of the home. There was an incident. I'm reading it, Miss Phyllis. There was an incident at a birthday party. One of the children that attended the party accused Jarvis of S.A., Naziah, and another child reported that Jarvis touched both of them inappropriately as well. So Jarvis was at this birthday party. He touched this person, and he touched Naziah, and he touched another girl. So Naziah and such, his own kids. So that's why Miss Sandra said because he touched his own daughter. Jarvis touched in her private area and it hurt. Jarvis touched, hold on, Naziah, let me read it back. There was an incident at a birthday party. One of the children that attended that party accused Jarvis of S.A. Naziah and Little Black reported that Jarvis touched both of them inappropriately as well. Jarvis touched this Little Black in her private area and it hurt. This was never reported. Jarvis is a sex offender and a felon. Okay, Blacking Out is sending pictures of herself on Instagram. Blacking Out was asked to send a picture of her private and to play with her private for the person on the phone. Blank whooped blank instead of talking with her and reporting the information to law enforcement. Shannon whooped Naziah instead of talking with her and reporting the information to law enforcement. That's it. That's the report. That's a snippet. That's a snippet of the report. Did you guys make any? She said, am I blocked? Perhaps, I don't know. No, you're not blocked. See? We see you. We see you, Queen. You are not blocked. There it is right there. I apologize. I thought the parent of the child that was touched at the birthday party did paperwork too. No. That's what, no. He touched his own daughter when she was 4 or 5 and gave her. Yeah, we know that. But what about these other kids? Sister, we know he gave her the, what was it? He ended up giving his own child, can't even remember what the disease is called. He ended up giving her, nah, you ain't offended nobody. You ain't offended nobody. Hey, Lisa Calhoun, how you doing? Hey, sister. So I'll read it all together because I know some of you guys go, SP, you read kind of weird, because this was my first time even really looking at it. I had took pictures and then I finally got it. So I'm going to share this. And then I'm going to go to that spot. Okay. So chlamydia. Thank you, Tina. Yeah, chlamydia. It says the parents is Jarvis and the parents are Shannon. And they got Shannon's name blacked out. They say Naziah's name, so it wasn't Naziah who he asked to send pictures to him. So his other child or some other child is sending pictures. Come on now, come on. Now you okay. Okay, so this is what it says. Shannon is the mother of this child, and this child, which is 6 months old. Jarvis is the father of this child and lives outside of the house. Naziah is the niece of Shannon and lives outside of the home. There was an incident at a birthday party. One of the children that attended the party accused Jarvis of SA. Naziah and this child reported that Jarvis touched both of them inappropriately as well. So it was 3 kids at that party that was touched. Jarvis touched this child in her private area and it hurt. This was never reported. Jarvis is a S offender and a felon. So Miss Black, or no, this is not Miss Black, this is Baby Black, because we don't know this child. But it has to be another one of Shannon's children is sending pictures of herself on Instagram. And then this child was asked to send a picture of her privates and to play with her privates for the person on the phone. And then it says such and such whooped. That's got to be Shannon. Shannon whooped such and such. And they've already said Naziah's name. So she's not the one that made the report. So Shannon whooped another one of her children, or Naziah. I don't believe it's Naziah, but it could be Naziah. But Shannon whooped Naziah. Let's just say that was Naziah. Instead of talking with her and reporting the information to law enforcement. Because it could be Naziah. We're talking about the surroundings that is very important in Naziah's life. Okay. So, here we go.
Did Detroit police miss a chance to save the life of Naziah Harris? Records uncovered by the 7 investigators tonight show that they did.
Nearly 2 years before Naziah went missing, police received a warning involving the man now accused in her murder.
And tonight, DPD says they messed up. 7 investigator Ross Jones reveals what went wrong and what's changed as a result.
Mr. Butts targeted and befriended women who had to have sexual relationships with their young daughters. He was a classic and expert groomer and pedophile.
On the same day, Jarvis Butts would be accused of killing and sexually abusing 13-year-old Naziah Harris, police and prosecutors urge the community to protect its children at all costs.
But when it comes to our children, we must be deliberative, we must be diligent, and laser focused on their safety.
We make strong and good decisions for our children, keep them out of harm's way.
But more than 20 months before Harris ever went missing, Detroit police had been warned that she'd been victimized by Jarvis Butts and failed to ever investigate.
There was enough for the department to ask about Naziah.
Yeah, we could have done better. No question.
Last month, we showed you that Jarvis Butts had been the subject of multiple complaints to Children's Protective Services, including at least one that named Naziah Harris as a victim. What we did not know at the time is that CPS wasn't the only agency who'd been warned. In April of 2022, in response to a complaint CPS had received, workers there submitted a law enforcement notification, or LEN, to Detroit police. It's an alert to possible criminal behavior that may warrant a police investigation. In this case, the complaint told DPD that there was an incident at a birthday party where a child accused Butts of sexual abuse. Naziah, and name withheld, reported that Jarvis touched them inappropriately as well. It read, Jarvis is a sex offender and a felon. Naziah's great aunt, Jernell, says she filed that complaint with CPS that ultimately made its way to DPD.
They're the police, they're supposed to investigate. I mean, it had all the everything is there.
But the department never did investigate, at least with respect to Naziah. Instead, according to officials, only the other alleged victim named in the report was questioned because CPS only listed her under the victim header, even though Naziah was identified as an abuse victim too.
Does that make any sense to you?
No, makes zero sense. Either they didn't read it or they didn't comprehend it. That's my opinion.
Tom Berry is a retired Detroit police lieutenant who reviewed the report that bears Naziah's name.
How many victims do you see identified there?
I see 2 for sure, maybe 3. Somebody dropped the ball. It's pretty clear by reading that there's at least 2 allegations of sexual assault there.
Her name was right in the report. At a minimum, the department should reach out to her and at least ask if something happened. But that didn't happen.
It did not.
Today, Assistant Chief Charles Fitzgerald makes no excuses, saying much has changed with how the department handles the more than 5,000 LEN reports it receives every year. Unlike when the Naziah complaint came through, he says DPD now interviews everyone identified inside, regardless of whether they're listed under the victim header. Complaints are triaged and are assigned quickly, and missing information, like in this case, Naziah's last name, is ferreted out by investigators.
That's a horrible excuse. We still should have done what we should have done.
The fact that they acknowledge it shouldn't have worked this way, and it took for something so tragic to happen to her, you're damn right it shouldn't have worked that way. They should have did their job.
Juana Morton is one of Naziah's relatives who says she filed complaints with CPS too. She wonders tonight if the 13-year-old's fate might have been different had police ever bothered to reach out.
Somebody has to answer for that. They absolutely do. CPS and DPD.
I think the obvious question that a case like this begs is how many other victims or alleged victims in reports like this were named but never contacted by DPD.
Prior to the recent process, I don't know. I would hate to speculate even.
Do you worry that there are other cases like this?
Of course, yeah, for sure.
I don't think it stopped in one child sliding through the crack. They clearly weren't doing their jobs.
We don't know, of course, what Naziah might have said to police if she'd been interviewed. The other alleged victim who was questioned made no disclosures of abuse. Jarvis Butts denied he touched anyone when questioned by police, and he has maintained his innocence since being charged. But by not asking the question, you know she couldn't possibly have said something was going on, and that's what haunts the family and will haunt the family, I think, for a very long time.
Well, of course, trust's so hard when the system fails you, you know.
And to see their names in a report 2 years earlier is frightening.
And if they're saying that procedures have changed, certainly our hope is that fewer people will fall through any cracks. All right.
Thanks a lot, Ross.
But I want to know, did they literally had to question, they didn't question Shannon? They got the parents. Or did they inappropriately? I believe they are more victims and they need to come out and talk. Please come out to talk. You know how hard it is, Tina, for a little girl to say, me too. It's very hard. You know, it's easy to say that, but then you got parents whooping them. So Shannon whooped somebody for saying that Jarvis touched somebody. So now woke the God, I don't know if she's still in the building. Her whole thing of what Woke the God was saying. She said, SP, I believe Shannon went off and went crazy. Well, that right there that we just witnessed, that information, like I said, you know, oh, she said, I'm here. That actually confirms a lot of Woke the God has been saying, like Shannon, because I believe such and such got whooped. Either it was Naziah got whooped or Shannon's other daughter got whooped because they didn't come to Shannon and say, hey, da 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 da. But whoever reported this is close enough to know that one of the kids got whooped. One of the kids got whooped. And the parents is Jarvis and the parent is Shannon. So one of the... I know she ain't whooping other people's kids, but such and such got whooped. That's like... Cause why? Because you said something, but you didn't come and tell me. How did you find out, or how did you know? You don't whoop a kid because they tell you, hey, I got touched. Oh, why you didn't tell me from the beginning? Why you didn't tell me this happened? I'm going to whoop you. Hold on. That don't even make sense. You didn't want to hear it. You mad because she said something. She said something to somebody, And so when they sit back and be like, we didn't know. When people tell you they didn't know, you know, the whole reason why we talk about this is not to uncover, because like I said, you guys, they knew. You can't tell me you didn't know. First of all, you knew he was a ped when you met him. You said that he disclosed it to you, and you decided to give him a chance because the penitentiary gave him a chance, so you gonna give him a chance. Got all these kids. He at the birthday party, touching and feeling and touching and feeling and touching and feeling. You didn't say, hey, okay, let's stop this party. You go home. Why is this grown man at kid's birthday party? Tell me that. That's what. Okay, I know your kids is at the birthday party, but men do not go to the kids' birthday. I mean, I'm not saying you can't go. It's your kids. You know, I would want my kids. I don't care if Pooh Bear is a boy. You know what? I'll be asking my son why you wasn't there, because he's the more responsible parent. Why you wasn't there? You know, because we do be at Pooh's birthday party. Grandma be there. Matter of fact, Pooh Bear had, and I'm not comparing, I'm just telling you guys, like, things that you guys already know, because you guys are smart. But, like, Pooh Bear had an Easter egg party. And he calls me up and he said, Grandma, would you come to my Easter egg party? And I said, I sure will. He was like, my other grandma's going to be there, and I'm going to have a whole bunch of grandmas there and grandpas there, whatever. And I'm like, okay. I'm wondering to myself, what is he talking about? My other, and because I'm grandma. But so I get to Pooh Bear's Easter egg party. I show up a little late, but I get there, and you know, Pooh Bear's sitting with his other grandma, and he's like, that's my other grandma. That's big grandma. And she's like, oh, okay. He was like, yeah. And he's smiling and he's cheesing. So that's Pooh Bear's maternal grandmother that he's talking to about his paternal grandmother. But you got to remember, my son's father, mother, and father was at the birthday party. So that's his grandfather, and his grandmother was also at this Easter egg party. And we all know each other. You guys, I'm telling you, I'm in my kids' life, my grandkids' life, and we speak to each other and we talk. And matter of fact, you know, when the baby is being born, we all show up and everything. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be active in these kids' lives. I don't care if they boys, girls, whatever. But you know, we're very supportive in our children and our grandchildren's lives. So whenever they're having anything, we've got 5, 6, 7, 8 eyes watching. Who's touching who? Who's going behind the barn? Who's going to go get water? Who's playing by the fire? You know, who's playing? Oh, y'all, no, we're not playing hide and go seek. You can go look for eggs, and I'm looking at how you picking up my grandchild. I'm looking at how you interacting. I don't care who you are. You can be grandma on the maternal side. You better sit there. You better sit there and love on him and give him hugs or whatever. But your hand better not go in the wrong place, because I will go smooth off. And he's having a good time. He's having a good time. Now, so I understand. I had to just bring that up to say I can understand why Jarvis could be at the birthday party. I really can't understand while he was at, because he's got kids at the birthday party. And to do the right thing, yeah, you be at the birthday party. So I get it. I always have to put myself in that person's shoe. Like, was he wrong to be at the birthday party? No, he wasn't wrong to be at the birthday party. So let me cross that out. He has all rights. His kids is at the birthday party. I don't know whose birthday party it was, but he has all rights to be there because his kids are at this birthday party. Okay. But if one kid say, oh, he touched me, somebody had to make, somebody accused, somebody had to make the allegation. And once somebody made the allegation, and I heard, like, we don't have this on paper, so it's got to be hearsay. But at this party, one of the kids did not want to play this sexual game, and so they decided, they said, take me home. And so anyway, we're always looking at the surroundings, because people be like, we didn't know. How can Shannon not know? Shannon whooped somebody's butt for saying, yeah, he touched. I wouldn't even say that's where it started, because he was comfortable with not only one child, 2 kids, but 3. There was 3 kids in this report that had acknowledged that he was being very touchy-feely. However, he needed to be watched. Yeah, they said the party was at Shannon's house. Well, I don't know if it was at Shannon's house. I don't know whose house it was at. Shalana Phillips said she knows. Shalana said, I know. So, you guys, I'm just sharing with you that the title of this chat is Naziah Harris Surroundings is very important. So, for me, when you have full black and white evidence that this particular person, Shannon, knew, because when people tell you stuff, you can really only go by what they're saying, even though it doesn't make sense and you know it's probably a lie. But when you see evidence like that, black and white, and then Shannon getting mad and whooping a child because they told that he touched them, and one child said it hurt. Well, okay, he could have been touching his own kids. Do you guys know that Jarvis got a child that's like 24, 25, 20-some years of age? He got a grown child. Do you guys know that? And she's beautiful too. She's pretty. She's in her 20s. I don't know if you guys know this. I seen the video the other day where she was going to a prom at the age of, I think she was like, well, maybe 16, 17 at the time, and he was walking her to take pictures. And I was like, oh, that's a beautiful girl. Yeah, that was Jarvis. And I'm like, Wonder if he was on something. Touched 3 kids there, but it's no excuse for real. No, it's not no excuse. But 3 kids, explain. Naziah was one of them. It's gotta be Shannon's daughter, because they started naming the kids. It's gotta be Shannon's daughter. Tina said, I saw that video. She is pretty. Yeah. It's gotta be Naziah, because they named Naziah, and Naziah is not she's the niece. And then the other kid, they didn't say the last name, so that tells you that she's a Harris. Because if it was the victim of somebody else, she said, no, I did not know that. If she was the victim or another particular person that's making these allegations, they would have said not only the first name, they would have said the last name. See, sometimes, and the guy said that, like they didn't say Naziah Harris. But they did explain that Naziah wasn't one of the kids. They explained that Naziah was actually the niece. But when they talked about the other victim, they just said the victim's name. They didn't say the last name. So it literally has to be his own child. You guys, I'm not assuming. I'm just telling you how when people write up reports, how you can understand what was actually said. Anyway, I wanted to share with you guys some of her surroundings that is very important. And wow, I really didn't think I was going to get all of that out of that. I'm not making this stuff up. This is what it is, you guys. It is what it is. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull this up. Let me see. Oh, let me see here. I don't know if you guys want to take a picture of it. You want me to... Do you guys want me to put the picture up there so you guys can take a picture of it and read it for yourself and look over it. So if you didn't understand what I was saying, let me pull the picture. Give me about 1 minute. Let me go out of here. Don't go nowhere. Give me 1 minute. She said, I forgot who I was hearing it from, but a lunch lady. Yeah, I read I heard about the lunch lady. I know who it was. Came out and spoke. She didn't have really nothing to say though. She said the baby was very sweet and very nice, but she had a look on her face on the day that she was missing. Yeah, she didn't say anything. She just felt some kind of way. But at the same time, the lunch lady was talking like this. She said, this is just hard to comprehend how one man can do this to so many children. Hold on, you guys. Don't go nowhere. Let me go pull this picture, and so you guys can read it and then get a good understanding. I'll be right back. Okay, you guys. So here it is. So I did this so you guys can see this picture and just see it for yourself. Here. Okay, is that long enough for you guys? I kept it up there for about 10 seconds so you don't have to be like, oh, what was it? What did it say? You can always pause and read it for yourself and look at it and decipher it, you guys. Yeah. Anyway, you guys, we're going to continue to talk about more people that surround. So there was some people that was around Naziah that had made some reports, you guys. I didn't think there wasn't nobody, but there was some people. Anyway, you guys, make sure you go back, take some pictures of it, read it, stop. Don't go, oh. I put it out there so you guys can read it. It's out there. It's public information. It's public information. So you can read it for yourself. And I made sure that you were able to see where I got it from. And just in case you know you can't blow it up or something like that or whatever. But read it for yourself. Decipher how you took it or how you understood it. Because not everybody going to understand it the same way. You're welcome, Miss Phyllis. All right, you guys, I'm finna get out of here. I might going to do some exercise, but I will see you guys in the next live, and that'll be Monday. Have a good weekend. I might see you guys this weekend. If not, be good, be safe, and be nice to each other. Bye.